Nothing great in the world was accomplished without passion. To be independent of public opinion is the first formal condition of achieving anything great. Genuine tragedies in the world are not conflicts between right and wrong. They are conflicts between two rights. Evil resides in the very gaze which perceives evil all around itself. Truth is found neither in the thesis nor the antithesis, but in an emergent synthesis which reconciles the two. What experience and history teaches us is that people and governments have never learned anything from history, or acted on principles deduced from it. We learn from history that we do not learn from history. Only one man ever understood me, and he didn't understand me. Education is the art of making man ethical. The valor that struggles is better than the weakness that endures. When liberty is mentioned, we must always be careful to observe whether it is not really the assertion of private interests which is thereby designated. It is solely by risking life that freedom is obtained. The individual who has not staked his or her life may, no doubt, be recognized as a person, but he or she has not attained the truth of this recognition as an independent self-consciousness. This is love. I have my self-consciousness not in myself but in the other. I am satisfied and have peace with myself only in this other, and I am only because I have peace with myself. If I did not have it, then I would be a contradiction that falls to pieces. People who are too fastidious towards the finite never reach actuality, but linger in abstraction, and their light dies away. Once the state has been founded, there can no longer be any heroes. They come on the scene only in uncivilized conditions. An idea is always a generalization, and generalization is a property of thinking. To generalize means to think. History is not the soil in which happiness grows. The periods of happiness in it are the blank pages of history. We may affirm absolutely that nothing great in the world has been accomplished without passion. If we go on to cast a look at the fate of world historical personalities, we shall find it to have been no happy one. They attained no calm enjoyment. Their whole life was labor and trouble. Their whole nature was nothing but their master passion. The length of the journey has to be borne with, for every moment is necessary. History in general is therefore the development of spirit in time, as nature is the development of the idea is space. What is reasonable is real. That which is real is reasonable. The anti-human, the merely animal, consists in staying within the sphere of feeling and being able to communicate only at that level. The ignorant man is not free, because what confronts him is an alien world, something outside him, and in the offing on which he depends, without his having made this foreign world for himself, and therefore without being at home in it by himself as in something his own. The impulse of curiosity, the pressure for knowledge, from the lowest level up to the highest rung of philosophical insight, arises only from the struggle to cancel this situation of unfreedom and to make the world one's own in one's ideas and thought. No man is a hero to his valet. This is not because the hero is not a hero, but because the valet is a valet. When we look at the world rationally, the world looks rationally back. The one who merely flees is not yet free. In fleeing, he is still conditioned by that from which he flees. Uneducated people delight in argument and fault-finding, for it is easy to find fault, but difficult to recognize the good and its inner necessity. By nature, man is not what he ought to be. Only through a transforming process does he arrive at truth. Every consciousness pursues the death of the other. Thinking is, indeed, essentially the negation of that which is before us. Wickedness also resides in the gaze that perceives itself as innocent and surrounded by wickedness. It is easier to discover a deficiency in individuals, in states, and in providence than to see their real import and value. Art is the sensuous presentation of ideas. It is hard to see why we should not turn round and mistrust this very mistrust. Should we not be concerned as to whether this fear of error is not just the error itself? The very fact that something is determined as a limitation implies that the limitation is already transcended. America is therefore the land of the future, where, in the ages that lie before us, the burden of the world's history shall reveal itself. One more word about giving instruction as to what the world ought to be. Philosophy in any case always comes on the scene too late to give it. As the thought of the world, it appears only when actuality is already there, cut and dried after its process of formation has been completed. When philosophy paints its gray in gray, then has a shape of life grown old. By philosophy's gray in gray, it cannot be rejuvenated but only understood. The owl of Minerva spreads its wings only with the falling of the dusk.